Welcome to Toth Outdoor Productions, where the hunting seasons come and go, but the memories last a lifetime. Hello and welcome to Toth Outdoor Productions. So I'm down here at the beautiful lake today that we grew up as kids, and we've had a lot of good hunts right here in this area. There's mine hills behind here and a big pine grove down the other way, and this is where we really became hunters as little kids. So I wanted to try to just advance your turkey game a little bit, and as I've said before in previous videos, you know, we get quite a bit of opportunities to hunt pressured turkeys in Pennsylvania just due to a lot of hunters and not many places to go. So the places you can go, normally the birds are pretty hard, and I want to just give you a couple tips to try to make you progress as a hunter. And the first thing I want to tackle is hunting call shy birds. And you know, they are tough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, they can be one of the most boring, drawn out hunts ever, but at the same time they can be the most rewarding, because it's something, it's kind of like archery hunting. You put all that work into the food plots and shooting your bow and hanging tree stands and trail cameras and shed hunting, and you know, you base the storyline around the animal you end up harvesting, and a call shy bird can kind of be the same way. And what you typically find made a call shy bird, at least in our scenario, is, you know, that bird had been called in multiple times, once or twice for sure, and shot at and missed. So they're normally older turkeys. I mean, some of the biggest birds I've ever got have been decoy shy, call shy, or just flat out silent turkeys. They didn't gobble hardly at all. I killed one a couple years ago right off these mine hills and hunted him for weeks. And you know, if I was going to sum up any tip on how to hunt a call shy bird, it would be, you know, a very minimal amount of calling. And I mean, and I actually progressed so much as a turkey caller in that hunting that bird, because you know, the typical yelps and stuff like that weren't working. So that's where I really got into using a fly down and cackling and soft purrs, and you know, some really big, I mean, turkeys can hear a lot better than we give them credit for. And I actually killed that bird by, I knew he was there. He would gobble 3-4 times on a roost, and when he hit the ground, silence. That was all you got out of him. And he had come in on me a couple times that spring, you know, and those birds, you have no clue they're coming, and all of a sudden he's standing there, and his eyesight's a lot better than mine. So we went round and round the merry-go-round with him quite a bit, and then in the end I got that bird by a couple things. One, being patient. I mean, if you get on a call shy bird, you can almost bank on the fact he's not going to run to your setups. He's going to take his time and just weave through the woods real slow. He'd take a step, look around, take a step, look around. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, if you're on a bird that you know shuts up when he hits the roost or hits the ground, I mean, he can either be one of two things. In my mind, if he shuts up when he hits the ground, he's either henned up, which are a lot easier to kill, or he is call shy. And they can be boring hunts, but they are, a lot of times, and in our situations, we found they're the biggest birds, they're the oldest birds, you have an awesome story behind them, and they don't make great footage either, because they sneak in and you shoot them and it's over. But that bird, I actually got him in the end by, I made a couple fly down cackles in the morning. I yelped a couple times. I'm talking like fly down cackle with a fly down, so he knew it was a real turkey. I did a cackle or two after I hit the ground, a loud yelp to make sure he knew I was there, and I shut up and I didn't do anything other than I waited about an hour after daylight and I scanned the woods real good before, and I reached down beside my leg and took a stick in the leaves and just purred real lightly and scratched the leaves. And in the end, I think it took him about 2 hours to come 100 yards or 150 yards, but I ended up getting that bird, and just an awesome turkey, a 10.5-inch beard, 1.5 inch spurs, and just a true monster for right here where we hunt. I mean, it was a really nice turkey. So if you're hunting a call shy bird, I don't have all the answers for you, but I wanted to give you them couple tips. I see so many people hunting turkeys and they get discouraged because they go to the woods just like they see on TV, and they call, and the bird doesn't come and he shuts up. And it's not that that bird is unkillable, it's that we have been in the big scheme of outdoor industry, you know, we get this idea that every bird comes right to them and they shoot it and it's over. And what you have to put in perspective is a lot of these hunts take place in the Midwest or West, and those birds don't see the people numbers that our birds see. I mean, our birds are a lot more intelligent. So I wanted to touch on that, and then, you know, I wanted to just kind of give you a roundabout advance. If you want to, you know, take your, as I felt like I grew as a turkey hunter, I added some things to the arsenal, and I want to get into that. You know, I've talked about fly downs and tree cackles, and I mean, you for sure going to learn a mouth call. You know, you kill a bird, save the end of the wing for a fly down. You know, we salt it and carry it in our bag the next year, and that works really well. And you know, decoys, this is an endless end of decoys. I mean, you have to be pretty careful, check your state laws and see what you're allowed to use and you can't use. And you know, but if you want to advance and you want to get better, the more things you have at your disposal, the better off you're going to be. So I mean, I can tell you right now, going into the 2019 season, I have a small blind that I can carry into the woods and cram in any hole. I have a big blind that we use on the field edges. I have 3 or 4 hen decoys, different makes, models, and styles, the feeding, the laying down, the upright, and then I have a half strut Jake, a quarter strut Jake, a full strutting Tom. I have the killer bee from Primo's that lays down flat. I mean, if you want to progress as a hunter and in this sport of turkey hunting, which is awesome, you're going to have to slowly, and I understand it's not in everybody's budget to buy all that at one time, and it wasn't in mine either. Every year I added a couple things, but those are all things you want to add. In my turkey vest, I'm going to have a fly down, I'm going to have a slate call, I'm going to have a glass call, I'm going to have a one-sided box call, I'm going to have 4, 5, 6 mouth calls at all times, you know, V cuts and triple reeds and smooth reeds, and they get some crazy cuts going on. Tom Teaser custom calls is really worth looking into. He makes some awesome mouth calls. But you know, something to remember is if you're failing, you know, and if the bird is not coming, one of the best tactics seems so easy, but he's telling you something every day. It's just like deer hunting and you're trying to pattern a buck. That bird is telling you something every time you go hunting, and you have to be willing to listen and put those pieces together until you have enough of a puzzle that he's the final piece. And as you progress and grow as a spring turkey hunter, you'll pick up on all these little things. You know, are they dominant? Are they been beat up? And all them things are going to make you better. And the more tools you have, the more successful you're going to be. And that's our goal here at Toth Outdoor Productions, is to make you the most successful that we can. I know that this video was a roundabout and didn't have a lot of key points in it, but I wanted to just kind of sit down here by the lake on this beautiful spring day and just try to give you a little insight on what's made us successful. I mean, don't be afraid to try something new. You know, just because I didn't tell you to do it doesn't mean it doesn't work. One of the best tactics you can do is to go back to that bird over and over and over and over and over until you're completely sick of them. A lot of times, I've told my brothers this, you know, we've hunted birds so much and we kill them on what I said was going to be the last time we hunted them. Like, okay, we've tried 1 decoy, we've tried 4 decoys, we've tried getting him angry, we've tried not calling, we've tried being in his way, we've tried, and it's the last day and you're down to the last straw in your mind, and then that's when you're successful. So, you know, those birds, their mood changes through the spring. I mean, you have right here locally, I mean, I don't know, I've been to quite a few states hunting birds and it seems to be the same, but we have you know, the peak of the breeding, and then it'll slow down, and then they're really lonely, and then there'll be some hens that their nest got ruined, and then that'll get the birds fired back up again, and then normally the hens all go away, and then there's another tail end. And I mean, it depends on where your spring is, and there's a lot of variations, but you for sure want to keep that in mind. Just because that bird didn't work Monday doesn't mean that you should give up on him. There's a very good chance if you change a couple tactics and go at it a different angle, that it will work. And I mean, one thing too that I can not over stress is, if that bird isn't henned up and you're trying to make it exciting and get his hens to come in, you do not want to overcall. I mean, that can be the death sentence to most turkey hunters. I hear them, they'll come in the woods and just hammer the calls, and the bird will shut up, and then they'll actually get up and leave. We've done this before, and I'll just sit there in silence, make a couple soft calls, and here comes the bird, and we actually are successful on that hunt. So I hope this makes you a better turkey hunter. We wish you all the best of luck in 2019 season and all the seasons coming down the pipe, and we'll see you here next time on Toth Outdoor Productions.